constant implied weight, our material galaxy stays weightless in comparative absent a close enough nearby similar interference the same as any body in the same situation in space. The galaxies lay just deep enough in the fabric keeping it from being affected by other galaxies nearby it, and deep enough to keep it at distance is provoked by the universe's spin all in the same galactic direction. Modern physicists use the density of a star's radiation afar to calculate its density, but are infrared by primitive measuring instruments in technology. In reality, the universe is set in motion by Newton mechanics. An object set in motion will stay in motion unless affected by some other external mass. Matter obeys these rules of motion by keeping secondary masses at a distance. No similar masses will attract past a given distance where they are compiled to maintain an orbit. At such a distance, they will push themselves away from the other mass and keep at a distance. Since the universe is also in motion, it also obeys the same rules of motion, causing an added push to the orbiting bodies. Matter resides on top the outer surface of the universe fabric or frame of reference. It is mobilized by the same conditions as the universe itself, and its presence embedded deep in the space fabric, and the same rules apply. The one-electron universe postulate was proposed by John Wheeler in a telephone call to Richard Feynman in the spring of 1940. Hypothesizes that all electrons and positrons are actually manifestations of a single entity moving backwards and forwards in time. At the Graduate College at Princeton from Professor Wheeler, in which he said, "Feynman, I know why all electrons have the same charge and the same mass. Why?" Asked Feynman, because they are all the same electron. How could such a massless particle travel so fast inside the atom's frame shell seemed to be determined at a velocity being in several places. In a single moment of time illustrates abroad that the electron is a virtual particle passing in and away from the scope several times in a single second. Of time reinventing modern physics that this electron particle isn't hiding but is traveling at a velocity holding the walls of the atom's shell. From collapsing in micronic time units several passes within a single second of time that are counterintuitive to being faster than light. And it was right in front of them. Overview. The idea is based on the world lines traced out across spacetime by every electron. Rather than have myriad such lines, Wheeler suggested that they could all be parts of one single line like a huge tangled knot, traced out by the one electron and traveling faster and faster as the universe expands itself. Any given moment in time is represented by a slice across spacetime and would meet the knotted line a great many times. Each such meeting point represents a real electron at that moment. The idea that the action in an atom of a single electron is scattered many times over within a single second of time illustrates that the speed of light measured in a single second in the atom is also scattered many times over to stabilize the walls of its material. It also illustrates that the velocity of light is not constant as once believed so. That an applied force travels through space is also more than what it actually seems to us. At those points, half the lines will be directed forward in time and half will have looped round and be directed backwards under normal conditions. However, Wheeler suggested that these backward sections appeared as the antiparticle to the electron, the positron. Many more electrons have been observed than positrons, and electrons are thought to comfortably outnumber them. According to Feynman, he raised this issue with Wheeler, who speculated that the missing positrons might be hidden within protons the same way as the virtual electron unit.